welcome to this week's episode or this week's town hall hosted by Certified PA Consulting. Welcome everybody. We host a new video every single Tuesday. So welcome to the community if this is your first time. This week we're talking about Negotiation 101. 3 keys and strategies for success in your negotiations. So I'm just checking my notes here. That's why I'm looking down a little bit. I don't want to forget anything. I'm Casey D'Amato. For those who don't know me, I am the president of Certified PA Consulting. We started in 2009. I am a PA, also a business owner, also a life coach. I help people understand salary negotiation strategies. I've been the leading expert in PA salary structures for a very long time, since 2009. The reason why I am an expert in PA salary structures and negotiation is because of my experience as a practice administrator, as well as being a business owner myself. So I can see both sides, both from being a clinical PA as well as being a business owner. What are the structures that really make sense for everybody involved? And how can we create these win-win salary structures that benefit both the PA and the practice owner? So we work with both PAs and Ps as well as practice owners and help people get really creative with their structures so that everybody feels rewarded, appreciated, the business is profitable, and everybody can grow and thrive together. So on this week's video, we are talking about We're talking about 3 key strategies for success. So I don't want to miss anything. Okay, so the first one is setting clear goals on what success means to you with your negotiations. So for everybody, this is different. And this comes up, we work with clients one-on-one, and this comes up all the time. Somebody will contact us and they feel it is so important to have a big benefit package, to have a lot of CME allowance and a matched 401k and things like that. We will talk to another client an hour later who will say, I don't give a you-know-what about the benefit package. I want the highest salary possible because I can go and buy all those things. There's tax benefits. I don't care about any of that. I want to negotiate the highest salary. An hour later, we'll talk to somebody else who says, work-life balance is the most important to me. I need flexibility in my schedule. If I'm not the top paid, I can live with that because I absolutely have to have work-life balance. So the most important thing, number 1, is to really figure out what is it that's most important to you. Obviously, you want a balance of all of these things, but if you had to list them in order and really define for you what is most important, and really think about that, because your negotiation strategy needs to be really clear on what is critical for you, because it's different for you compared to everybody else. That's how we all are. We all have different things that are important to us that we value the most. So number 1 key step is really understand what your goals are. What is that perfect structure? What do you really want in this outcome? And then you can back into how to negotiate. And more importantly, you can identify if this practice or this facility is a match, because sometimes when you get really intentional about what you want, it sometimes becomes obvious, well, wait a minute, this type of facility, it's just not conducive to this. They're not going to be able to accommodate this. So maybe I need to plan an exit and go and find somewhere that will be able to accommodate this. And so that's really critical to define what your goals are. Number 2, is the environment supportive of what you're doing? Meaning that your goals, let's say you're financially motivated, that where you work is also financially motivated. So an example of this is someone who comes to us said, I want to make the most money. And then we find out they're working in an academic facility. Well, academic facilities have grants and they're spending a lot of time teaching. The patient volume can be a little bit slower, which means there's not as much money coming in. It's different than a high procedure type of specialty where there's high patient volume and high procedures. In those type of specialties, there's just more revenue coming in because there's more patient volume and more activity and more procedures. So sometimes there's a disconnect between what the PA or NP is looking for and what the facility is set up to provide. This is probably not going to really happen. So really figuring out if the environment is supportive of your goals and their goals. Is everybody aligned? Because the quote, teamwork makes the dream work, is really true. Everybody needs to be aligned on the same path. And so on that same note, another example is high volume specialty, like a dermatology specialty. That's where I come from. Really high volume in some cases. You could see a lot of patients in a day and in a week, a lot, like sometimes 40 patients in a day. And a lot of specialties are thinking, oh my gosh, that's insane. But it's possible in a specialty like dermatology. Not always, but it is possible. And some people with the right staff support and the right space have no problem with that, and it's incredibly lucrative. So it's important that you align yourself, and other people don't want to see 40 patients a day no matter what. They don't care what the money is. No way, that's too much productivity for them. They don't want that. So it's really important to align what you want, and then really think about, is this facility or practice structured in a way that is in line with what I want? If I like an academic type of setting with a lot of camaraderie and a lot of teaching and a lot of learning and a little bit slower of a pace, academic can be perfect for you. And if you're really, really, really motivated and you like to move fast, then you might like a high productivity specialty. So it's really important to align with what you really want, and think about it also from a business standpoint of what's realistic from the salary standpoint, thinking about the business model of medicine. In the United States, medicine is still private industry for the most part, outside of the VA, government centers, and a few academic centers that run on grants and things, but primarily still a private sector industry. So really important to think about hospital-based, private practice-based. What do you want, and how do you align that with the type of facility where you're working in specialty and things like that, so that everybody's working towards the same goals. And then number 3, really consider the other party's goals. And this is where most people overlook in their negotiation process. And that's why I wanted to have it in this top 3. Your outcome to benefit you will come faster and much bigger if you are benefiting the other party's goals. So if the other person wants to open a satellite practice, for example, and you're comfortable heading that up and helping manage it and lead it, well, you'll be in a position to negotiate pretty high salary related to that long term once it gets busy, if you negotiate in some of the administrative duties and things like that. Or if a facility wants to start doing research in a certain area and you're interested in research, well, then you can negotiate to head up overseeing some of that as a supplement to your regular salary. So really think about what the facility or what the practice, what do they want? How do they want to grow? What are they looking to expand to do? And how can you be part of that solution? Because if you can bring more value to them in some way, then oftentimes you can negotiate more for you. If from a financial standpoint, if it's time that is important to you, then think about, is this someplace that's going to be conducive to a part-time structure? Or a flexible schedule structure. And if it's not, you probably can't change that a whole lot. You can make suggestions, but if they're not open to it, then it might be time to plan an exit and be very intentional. Maybe your number 1 is work-life balance or flexible schedule, ability to go maybe from part-time to full-time and fluctuate your weeks. So maybe you need to think about a specialty that is conducive to that, because there are some that are out there that do allow flexible schedules. Now, you may sacrifice kind of the top salary because you may be on productivity, which can be a top salary, but if you're on not seeing as much patient volume, it will be a little bit lower salary, but you'd get flexibility over your schedule. So really, it's really important to think about, number 1, what do you really want? What are your goals for success? Number 2, is that environment supportive? Is everybody on the same page? Teamwork makes the dream work towards the same goals, whether it's revenue, whether it's non-revenue. Is everybody on the same page of what's most important to them personally and for the practice? That's the best. And number 3, how are you delivering the value and the win for the other party? Because if you can do that, you will get a much, much, much bigger win, much bigger. We're talking about, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 kind of wins over small incremental raises, which is what most people focus on. Getting that raise, it might be like 5 or 10 grand a year or something like that, as opposed to thinking like this, thinking outside the box. And this is where we see our colleagues who really, really, really rise to the top because they're solving the problem for the employer, or they're helping them grow in a way they want to grow, and it's a win-win for everybody. So win-win is the name of the game. Something that benefits the other party and benefits you. That is the recipe for success. So those are the top 3 key strategies for success when negotiating. I hope this quick video was helpful. Don't forget to check out our other videos on our new YouTube channel here where this video is posted, or on our video library at certifiedpaconsulting.com. You also can contact us through the Contact Us page at certifiedpaconsulting.com, or connect with me, Casey D'Amato, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Send me a message anytime. Be happy to work with you. Don't forget, we have a free guide, 10-step negotiation checklist. So make sure you can check that out. We have multiple free guides actually on our website related to negotiations. We have free webinars, so don't miss them. And of course, we offer private coaching one-on-one to help you really strategize that win-win proposal for your next negotiation process. So we're here for you if you need us. Happy to help you along your journey. Have a great week. I'll see you next week.